and Oliver Clark. The team are playing today, UVIC Vikes in the yellow and blue today, with our TWU Spartans playing in their home colours with their white and blue. Last time these teams met was a formidable game, an incredibly competitive game where UVIC won just right at the end. UVIC with a history of producing incredible rugby players coming through that university and creating usually stock that became a bit of a feeder into the Canadian national program. Today, Spartans looking to change that result. Both of these teams coming off a 3-0 loss, both losing tightly to the last 3 games. So we're looking to see a big game from both these teams, both wanting to make an impact right off the start. Off the kickoff here, Logan Martin Feek with the ball in his hands. My apologies, Ethan Hager, who's going to be starting off for them at number 14 today. Big game. Referee today will be taking a hold of the game. The game will be starting shortly. Thank you so much for joining us at the Langley Event Centre, October 22nd, 11 degrees here, and a big kick. Kicking things all over UVIC. Big contact straight off the get-go. Finn Murphy looking to clear the ball and decides to keep it with the forwards. A lot of composure here that is needed from both teams. Matthew Willemse with a huge punt. What a kick. Straight down the middle. Ethan Hager looking to run. Big stick there. UVIC looking to create their phases, put through the ball in the hands and spread the ball from that point of contact. Again, looking to go 2 phases here. Second phase of the UVIC, and they're going to continue down that right-hand side of their field. And that's a bit of a break, a little bit of a tackle there, which is great. Spartans have got to show a lot of composure here, and that's a fair ball. The ball's out, and that looks like the ball's popped out for the Spartans. It's a great turnover, and that comes from composure in the back line. Matthew Willemse with the big boot again, right down the field. Straight back into their half. And that kick might just go a little bit too far. From outside his 22 all the way through to the end goal line, Willemse will be kicking himself there, excuse the pun, kicking himself there for just, I don't think he actually understands the extent of his boot. I've never seen a boot like that watching competitive rugby. It's remarkable. That boy's left boot is special. Take it, frame it, give it its own medal. That's special. All the way back here up to the 22, and UVIC with the ball in hand. Number 9, Jenna Tafel, looking to control the game, and this will be the first scrum of the day. It will be interesting to see both packs against one another, and both packs looking to make an impact and make their mark in the game. This is the part of rugby that is so special, the dark arts of the scrum. Ball coming slow, and they decide to go out right. Again, their fullback looking to run the ball, Jonas Robinson, and that's a break. Not overly sure what happened there down the wing. I'm not sure if that was a forward pass, but there we go. It's a little knock-on from UVIC, which the Spartans would be thankful for. They can start again right on their touchline there, and on their end goal line. Spartans be looking to clear their lines and be thankful that wasn't 5 points on the board. Early on, it's so important that the first points on the board really might start to dictate the pace and the direction and trajectory of the game. Caleb Girth with a big pickup and running hard. Got to love the strength of Caleb Girth and his ability to run at defenders all day long. Love the composure there from the Spartans, and Finn Murphy just choosing to keep things tight. Big ball here. And that's Lyndon Duggan with the wheels. Incredible. He's going to put the ball through the hands, incredible. Connecting with Kenny Paul there. Willemse playing scrum half. Keeping it to the back. Marengo spinning the ball wide. This is beautiful rugby from the Trinity. And now we've got our man, Tummy with the wheels. Incredible, that boy. They've got to make sure that they get clean ball here. There's a little bit lazy. A little bit lazy. This looks like referee's calling a penalty. Looks like one of the UVIC players with a little bit of a lack of discipline coming in from the side and Trinity winning the penalty. What an incredible set of plays there. Willemse with the brave pass, a long pass over there to Lyndon Duggan. Love that, watching that boy spread the legs and run. I hope to see more of him today. Both of the wings with an opportunity to touch the ball throughout the game. Willemse finding touch. First line out of the game today for the Spartans. They'll be looking for clean ball. They go back there to Martin Zibiri. Clean take and a nice run there. They're looking for clean ball from here. Marengo looking to distribute, and he goes for a little run. Ball dropping there, and unfortunately, just a small little knock-on in the tackle. Potentially a right the decision. UVIC Vikes playing a bit of a rush defense today, coming up quickly on the Trinity Western Spartans, and Marengo, in all honesty, had not much to do with that and just had to hold on to the ball. UVIC Vikes deep into their 22, looking to clear the ball, and this will be an opportunity to see the counter-attack, both with Tammy, Lyndon, and Willemse. Those back three backs looking to link up and get some chemistry throughout their play. Ball put in there by Genitafol. Pick up at the back by Marcus Lott. Ball goes out to number 10, Logan Martin Feek. Willemse's underneath it. He looks little dummy, and then he's inside, outside, and we've got Tammy's running. Incredible. Is he going to go all the way? And that's an unbelievable try from the Spartans. First points on the board today. Trinity Western's Spartan 5, UVIC 0. Incredible. That started from the back, and as I just started finishing talking about the counter-attack, Willemse with his dancing feet, show and go, twinkle toes, connects with his teammate on the wing there, Tammy. Nice to see Tammy back from his stint with the Irish Sevens team, and I've got to say, I've said it over and over again, I just love watching Tammy run. Tam Ovanusi. Incredible player, great hands, and wheels and pace to burn. Willemse looking to add an extra 2 points with the converted try here. Not Willemse's best kick. What we underestimate here, especially watching that kick there, coming from just in front of the 10, running all that way and still supporting Tam, and then having to put a kick through the ball for conversion is a challenging feat in itself. 7 minutes into the game, Spartans 5, UVIC 0. Clean take there by Colin Legat. What I do like today is just watching the composure of the Spartans. They seem to be playing with a tempo here that's relaxed, eager to move the ball and not panicking in defense. Tam also there doing his defensive duties. Now all of Spartans back. Look at the discipline. And that is incredible. The turnover there. Tam makes a tackle straight over the ball. Looks like Colin Legat was there doing his defensive effort. The boys are smacking his hands and saying, well done. Well done. Turnover ball, and now the pressure is back on the UVIC Vikes. Just inside the 10-meter line with the throw into the line out by Scott Bowers. Looking for another clean take here. Looks like Leon Chen is looking for the receiver. Just a small line out here. Martin Zubiri with the take again. Little bit of a break. Pick and go here from Spartans. The forwards are set up in the middle of the park. They'll be looking to spread the ball. Marengo there. Tammy touches the ball, and Tammy goes. Tammy sees the gap, and he goes. And he goes. And that's the second try of the day for Tam. Incredible. That came straight off the training ground. The team running through the phases, and it's simple rugby. It is simple rugby. The boys, the hard boys in the front, 1 to 8, doing all the hard work. And then the back line putting the ball through their hands. I love the way that Marengo ran with that ball, held the ball up, and then a beautiful ball backwards to Tam. He's coming from his wing and finds a gap in the middle of the park and adding another 5 points. Willemse with the conversion. That's another 2 points and a lot more composure there. Relax. Just putting the ball through, his foot through the ball. I've said it time and time again, but forwards 1 through 8 win you rugby games. These are the big boys who decide to do all the hard work up front, and backs determine how many points you're going to win by. And to be fair, I love the fact that the Spartans are working as a team. Historically, Spartans have come out really strong in the first 20 minutes. They will be looking to maintain this kind of momentum. They've started with a bang and been really composed. Number 7, Leo Chen, taking the ball strongly, but pushed a little bit back. Through the hands again. Scott Bowers taking the ball up. He's a strong boy. Willemse with the clearance kick. Straight to touch. And that's a big kick. Ethan Hogan looking for the ball again. Willemse looking to clear the ball once again. Clever, very aware of where he is. Steps back into his 22 and kicks the ball. That's important because if he kicks the ball straight out in front of that 22-meter line, he has to unfortunately come straight back to where he kicked it from for a line-out throw for UVIC Vox. Now we are just inside the Spartan half with number 3, Denver Fat, looking to find his man and does so. The ball goes through the hands here, and now we're going to see, wow, that is a big hit. And who else but Josh Halliday with the stick, putting his body on the line. Today we're going to need every player, 1 through 15, really making an impact and deciding to go all out. Making an effort on attack and defense, and that's a quick break. That's Marengo. Number 3, Tim Zimmer coming out. Who knew that a front row player could have so much pace? Again, a big stick. A big stick. That's referee unhappy with what there. Josh Halliday again. If you want to see hits happening all day, just watch number 5, Josh Halliday. When he's on, he is on, and he will put his body on the line every minute of the game. High tackle there, unfortunately, by Halliday, just a little bit too high. And UVIC with the penalty and finding touch, Logan Martin Feek. It seems like a bit of a pattern here that UVIC are playing. Trying to put the ball 1 phase, 2 phase through the forwards and then trying to release their back line. Haven't seen a whole bunch of their wingers going for it, and that's a turnover. It's a bit sloppy there from both UVIC and the Spartans. But it looks like the original infringement there happening from the Vox. It's going to be a scrum with the Spartan push put in today. The fundamentals of the game, these moments, winning your scrum, puts in on your own put in, winning your line out at your own put in. These are the fundamentals that really when you look back at a game, and whether it's a win or a loss, you're looking back at these moments that really are small moments, insignificant in the moment, but in hindsight can be significant moments that can change the trajectory of a game. UVIC with a huge put in, and they've got the advantage there. Quick tap by UVIC, putting their hands through. Logan Martin Feek taking the ball. Not a whole bunch of support here. Spartans have got to go back by just playing composed rugby. This is a part of the game. Defensively, just to be composed. Same as when you got the ball in your hands. Just composure, composure, composure. They'll be happy with what's been shown here. And another big stick by Eric Niebuhr. That is a big one. And that's a double hit there. Marengo and Caleb Girth working together. What a partnership. And you see that kind of defensive work is when attackers are running at you and they know that they're going to make big contact. They start having a sense of doubt in their minds. And that little sense of doubt can really determine how a player works or how they don't. Another big stick from Tam. Defensively, and Tam again forcing the knock on there. Holding onto the ball in the tackle, excuse me. That's the composure, end to end, sideline to sideline. The UVIC are playing with nowhere to go. Willemse puts his foot through the ball, and now it's going to be a line-out throw just on halfway. With the throw-in coming from at the line-out, coming for the Spartans. Full line-out here, all 8 men. 7+1. And Scott Bowers being 2 for 2 with his throws today. If you're just joining us, welcome. 15 minutes into our game. Trinity Western Spartans versus UVIC Vics. Score at the moment 12-0 to the Spartans. Slow ball there. They'll be looking for quicker ball there. And that's a big stick by Martin McLeod. He'll be very happy there. Very happy with the stick. Finn Murphy needs to work a little bit harder to get that momentum going. The Spartans working backwards, and UVIC doing a formidable job of making sure that they've been, and it looks like it's a turnover, done a job of making sure that they were defensively in a strong game. This might be the theme of the game here on the defensive way. Tam all the way back. Looking to run, but not a whole bunch of space left for him. Again, ball through the hands. Caleb Girth with an incredible line out, clear out there. Finn Murphy struggling to do what he needs to do in this moment. Willemse looking to release the ball in the tackle, maybe the wrong decision there. And that's a turnover with UVIC trying to look to put points on the board. And again, Josh Halliday. Defensive, incredible. Him and the whole of the back line. Now it's one-on-one. Well done there. A big hit by Lyndon Duggan, playing his part with the team. Penalty there. So the referee is saying that the Spartans you cannot go down on your feet. You have to clear through the ruck. You can't be going straight down onto the ruck. And so the referees penalised them. UVIC decided against the points, decided against going for touch. And in my humble opinion, probably taking the right decision here and going for the scrum. If they have anything to take from the last scrum against the Spartans in the 22 there, they absolutely dominated them. Every single man in 1 through 8 there in the white and blue will be having to digging deep here and say, guys, we cannot be pushed back here. This is a part of the game that has got to be fundamental. And holding their ground here. Ball pick up there at the back by Marcus Loft. Quicker ball here. Number 4, Asfan Saeed taking the ball and clearing out. They decide to come back into the game on the left-hand side here. Again, composure in defense. Number 12, Andrew Easton, screaming for the ball, saying, oh, we needed Archer. Another penalty. Spartans have got to be careful here because it's at this point that the referee could go to his pocket and again, pick and go on the third phase. That's a try for the UVIC, and I'm not sure who that came out with, but it looks like it may be Brendan Kim or Ayu, who manages to get the ball over the ground. Beautiful day today at the Langley Event Centre, home of the Trinity Western Spartans, for what's been a very competitive game so far. Trinity putting the first points on the board with the unconverted try and then converting their try, and UVIC digging deep and coming back with another 5 points. Trinity 12, UVIC 5. Logan Martin Feek looking for the conversion here to narrow the gap to just 5 points. The flag stayed down. That looks like 12-5 points difference today. 7 points. Unsuccessful there. We are halfway through the first half. Game of quarters. First quarter is over. Another 20 minutes to play in the first half here. With Willemse with his ball in hand, looking to restart the Spartans. This Trinity's rugby program has been one that's been developing through the years, and I can say, somebody who's watched the team closely, it's been a remarkable difference seeing them this year. They seem to be playing with a lot more unity and chemistry, and that's bound to happen as these guys get to know one another and understand the strengths and the weaknesses of their other players around them. Looks like someone's getting a little bit of attention at the back there. Looks like Eric's over there getting a little bit of tape work done. Looks like he's struggling there with potentially his hand, but he's back on the pitch. Willemse with the restart. Goes long into the 22. It's a strong run and an offload. Needs to be some composure here. Boys are getting back. Josh Halliday again, and Caleb all around the park today. Caleb Girth, you got to say this man is rightly so the captain. He leads by example. He is a big unit. And Trinity will be thankful that he is back on the pitch and able to bring not only his physicality to the game, but also his leadership throughout the game, putting the body on the line, leading by example. Looks like that ball was, referee says play on, looked like the ball went backwards. UVIC still with the ball. This might be the 5th or 6th phase of play. Offside here, and so offside by Trinity, and this is the composure defensively I spoke about. Mistakes will happen, but you have to be patient. We know the patience is the fruit of the Spirit. Number 14 taking his kicking duties, looking like he's restarts and kicks for touch, Ethan. And a very ambitious kick here for Poles. Just inside of his half. Ethan Hager with no hesitation, calling for the sidelines to get the tee onto it and wanting to put points on the board. These moments where you've got a little bit of a breather, both teams are looking to catch their breath and making the most of the little bit of breather, because, you know, as soon as that ball is kicked, the ball is live, And regardless of what happens, you can play on. Unless that ball is going through the center of the post, the team have got to run and play with it. You'll be looking for a big follow-up here. That's a great strike. Remarkable strike there by Ethan Hagan. He will be taking a huge amount of confidence from that. That narrows the game down 12 points to 8. Just 4 points in it. Spartans leaving 12 points to 8. Willemse with the restart and goes deep and long. And he's a great runner. This looks like the eighth man who's a great runner. UVIC with the ball in hands, number 6. Happy to play with the ball. And now they're getting through their phases. It looks like the momentum's changed and UVIC are playing with a lot more confidence. A bit of a sloppy error here there. And as I say that, the ball has come through a knock-on. Just a horrible pass from Jenna Toffel. That number 9 is, for those of you who are still learning the rugby game, is 9 and 10 almost act as your 2 quarterbacks, if those familiar with NFL or CFL here in Canada. But they're the link between the forwards and the backs that scrum off, and he'll be kicking himself because that's the fundamentals to your game, making sure that the backs and forwards have clean ball. Jenna's, to be fair, had a great game so far and distributed really well, but just a lapse of concentration. Finn will be looking to spread the ball and coming back inside to Kenny Paul. Looking like a bit stagnant here from Trinity. They need to get their phases in there and counter-rucking superbly, UVIC. UVIC with the turnover, and I can see what Spartans are trying to do. They're trying to not overcommit there to the ruck so that they do have men available for the ball and so they can put their ball through the phases. But you've got to win those rucks. You've got to get over the ball and make sure you secure the ball for your back line. Big pass here, ball going wide. And sloppy there, ball going forward. Marengo with the cleanup. Willemse shouting for the ball, and now he's going to put the ball in it. Deep. Will that ball go over? He's going to wait for it. His opposite number, Jonas here, Robertson. Nice. Referee stopping the game here, and to be fair, there was nothing really in that. Lyndon Duggan playing defensively. There's not a whole bunch in that tackle. I really hope for everyone's sake that nothing more is going on with that. It wasn't over. It wasn't reckless. Slightly higher than he should be. Interested to see what the referee says. Just having a word with the captain here, Caleb Girth, and saying, listen, this is the second time he's called his second time there. He's had a high tackle. Just warning Caleb, listen, make sure that you're keeping your team's discipline under control here. You've heard it here first, but if that's another hard tackle, you can only imagine somebody's going to be going to the bin and taking 10 minutes of a breather and thinking about their actions. UVIC here with the throw-in. Number 3 putting the ball in there. Denver Fat. Clean ball there for Jenna. Ball through the hands. And UVIC seem to be dominating there. Andrew Easton and Shane dominating in Colin and Kenny. Colin Legut with an incredible defensive play and straight out. A lot of pressure there on Willemse. Ball comes clean and he's looking to put that boot through it. Unfortunately, kicks the ball straight out and will be coming all the way back to that 22 with Denver Fat with the line-out throw. And only one mistake so far from Denver, and the ball's in. He goes long all the way over. Clean up there at the back. Not straight, the referee says. So Trinity with the option of a scrum or a line-out. Interesting to see what their decisions made here, because UVIC's had the best of them in these scrums, but they'd opt for a scrum. And this is a confident play. This is a brave play where they say, listen, we're not going to be dominated, and I'll put in. We're going to show you guys. And if I was 1 through 3, I'd be Ben, Scott, and Tim Zimmer there. We'll be talking to each other and saying, guys, let's make an impact here. Let's make a big stick and secure this ball here. Ball's loose. Tam with the wheels. Tam with the wheels. All the way back then. Clean up here. The ball's got to come quickly. Ball does come quickly too. Really unfortunate there. Really unfortunate. Willems understand what he's doing there. He's trying to get the ball out wide. Trying to get the ball into the hand of the incredible Lyndon Duggan. I haven't seen too much of Lyndon today. I'd really like his hands on the ball. He's quick. He's strong. He breaks tackles. And so it'd be nice to see him being used a little bit more. Seen his opposite winger, Tam, with a lot more of the ball. Tam with 2 tries today. A remarkable player. Pace to burn. And a silly error, unforced error here with all the momentum going to Trinity, and unfortunately a unforced error. A change in the front row. Ben Gracia coming off. Not too sure who he's replaced by. But let's see if he can make an impact here immediately in the front row. Big stick. Strong scrum. Ball comes out. 14. Been UVIC's player of the match so far. Ethan Hager with the huge boot, as well as running really strong. Every time he gets the ball in his hand, running very well. Again, composure is needed defensively here. Ball going through the hands here with number 20 with the ball in his hands. Tucker Nadeau coming off the bench and touching the ball. 12, Shane Rickley. And that's a little bit of accidental offside, but the referee looks past it. Ball comes out here. Nice bit of play here from UVIC Vikes, exploiting end-to-end rugby here with number 12, Andrew Eason, all over the park. And as I mentioned before, the next person to make a hard tackle is going to be going to the bin. And the referee reaches for his card, and someone's gone to the bin. Not too sure who was the unfortunate recipient of that, but referee with no real other option than to kind of stamp his authority on the game. 3 hard tackles there, and I guess it's over-enthusiasm and passion getting the best of the boys, and a yellow card. Going to have to pay with 14 men for the next 10 minutes while UVIC Vikes, Colin with an unusual drop tackle. The ball goes wide here. Willems are working it. Is he going to be able to... unable to catch him, and there's a touch right in the corner here for Willemson's opposite number, Jonas Robinson. UVIC have been able to come back from 12-0 down now to 12-13 on the here, looking for conversion. This will put the game within 3 points, just leading by 1 point. And again, the Spartans are going to have to dig deep here, because for the remainder of this half, they're going to be playing with 1 man down. Momentum has definitely shifted here with Spartans starting so strongly. Very strongly, and UVIC again weathering the storm and coming back strong. They'll be really pleased with the second half of this first half performance. Logan Martin Feek looking to add another 2 points to make this a 3-point game, taking UVIC to 15. Each kicker's got their unique style there, and Logan seems to be swaying those arms, waving those arms like he just does care. Strikes the ball, and that's unfortunately wide for UVIC. Just 1 point in it. Trinity Western 12, UVIC Vikes 13. 6.5 minutes left here at the Langley Event Centre. Our first half, Trinity Western Spartans versus UVIC Vikes. Been a competitive game, end-to-end, similar to the last time that these two teams met, exchanging blow for blow. Decides to go short there, Willemse does. And the next little space here will be a great determiner of how they can go into the second half, how they can go into the break. Momentum either on the back foot or on the front foot. Great tackle there by Eric Niebuhr. Nice, Colin. Colin strong in the tackle, and Halliday they're looking to clean up. Keeping things close. 7, Leo Chen with the strong tackle, Leo. Getting up and looking for some more work. Love it. Ball coming backwards. Running side to side. Who's going to make the stick? Spreading the ball. Number 3 is great hands. Denver Fat all over the park and willing to pass the ball, willing to tackle the ball, and that's a little bit of over-excitement there. One of the players coming through the ruck. It's a ruck, and so he can't flop over the ball here. Caleb just wanting a little bit of clarification, under the impression that the ball was out and it was free game. The referee disagrees with him, and unfortunately the referee is always going to win that one. Well kept in here, and right back at it. Deep, just over the 22, and it goes a big up and under there from Logan Martin-Feek. No one underneath it, free ball, and who comes out with the ball again but Tam. Dancing his feet, dancing his way through that UVIC line and comes to a standstill. Now, can we see the ball go through the hands? Caleb, little fumble there, but holds onto it, thankfully. There the ball goes out. Out by Halliday. Halliday with a big run. And that boy is not going to be... And that's a great run there by Halliday with the great hands as well. He's a big unit, but I would love to see, I'll say it again, Lyndon Duggan with the ball in his hands. He's got pace, he's got skill, he's got feet, but we haven't seen much of him in this game yet, and that's not his fault. He's looking to get involved, but just doesn't seem to be able to get himself into the game here. He is a guy that can change the game, and UVIC running very confidently here with Ethan Hager with the ball, show and go. Jonas Robinson looking for the touchdown. He's going to run and put that ball as close to the post as possible. And end-to-end stuff there with UVIC putting another 5 points on the ball, and I think players have got to start, Spartans here, got to start putting up their hands and taking responsibility for first-time tackles. There's nothing quite demoralizing as seeing a player next to you drop his tackle, but this is a 15-man's game, and every man needs to put his body on the line, and that's why this is God's game. It's a beautiful game, the game of rugby, and it's nothing quite like seeing a team work together, and you've got to say that it looks like there's 15 individuals playing at Trinity at the moment, that everyone's trying to make something happen rather than being composed and looking for a team to work together and get some chemistry flowing here in this team. 18 points to 12 at the moment. Looking for 2 more points to make it a 8-point game. 6 in it at the moment. Logan with his pre-kick rituals, swinging those arms and looking to be successful here with this kick. Unsuccessful with all of his kicks today. 18-12. UVIC Vikes leading Trinity Western Spartans. From my clock here, it looks like we've had a timeout. We had a little bit of extra time that we'll play when Eric Niebuhr was getting us seen to on the sidelines here, but little bit of a delay here as Tam seems to be having a change of shoes. I wouldn't be taking off any shoes that he was wearing because I don't know what that boy eats, but he is fast as they come. A talented individual who's been able to play for his national team Ireland in the sevens competition, and Spartans really fortunate to have that kind of caliber of player here. Scored both tries today, Tam, but they really need something special here to reignite this Trinity Western Spartans team. And who comes out with the ball again but Tam? Josh Halliday looking for the ball out wing here. Caleb Girth, a little pop over. Can he clear out? There we go. That's much better from Trinity. Just being patient with the ball in hand. And yes. Lyndon Duggan. Incredible work by Lyndon Duggan. I've mentioned his name from minute one. Get the ball in his hand, and what happens? His hands, show and go, step inside, step outside, and Lyndon Duggan giving all praise to God with his hand in the air. Incredible, and this is the momentum that can change the whole trajectory of the game. Spartans putting points on the ball at the final whistle of the first half. I don't think there's going to be many minutes to play. Absolutely remarkable. The first time this boy gets the ball in his hands with a little bit of space. Show, go, turn on the pace, and what happens? We see points on the board. He's remarkable. What a player. Willems are looking to add 2 more points. And that's a beautiful strike by Willems. Really composed. Incredibly composed with an extra 2 points on the board. Trinity Western 19, UVIC 18. 1 point game. End-to-end things here. And maybe today will come down to who wants it more. Both teams putting points on the board, both teams making some crucial errors, both teams looking hungry to rectify the issues. Colin coming out with the ball, horrible pass. And Willems just puts the ball into the space. And this man, Ethan Hager, coming off with the ball there is Kenny Paul. Love to see Kenny. He's had a great game defensively. I would love to see Kenny Paul and Colin working a little bit more together and that's a gap. That's a beautiful gap taken there. Looking for the ball out wide here. And sloppy stuff here from UVIC. Cleaning up at the back there, Jonas Robinson. And to be fair, Lyndon Duggan trying to keep the ball in play, and he's done a great job doing that, not wanting to take the ball out. Referee, I think, calling that offside. He's saying that's offside, that Spartans were a little bit too eager coming off the line, and I don't know how many minutes this referee's planning to play today, but by my estimates, this game should be over. However, 10 minutes over, man in the sin bin coming back on the park. They're going to be playing, that's Keegan Marengo. They're really their talisman. Their leader here in the back line, back on the pitch. And Keegan's had a 10 minutes to rest the legs, and he will be wanting to rectify his little mistake there. And that ball's not straight, unfortunately. Referee blows his whistle. Half time here at the Langley Event Centre. It's 22nd of October here. Trinity Western's Spartans 19, UVIC Vikes 18. Very similar game, this game to the last time this team met. Just a very, very close game, and both teams are looking to make an impact here in the second half with game shortly underway. Thankful for tuning into what is going to be in a brilliant first half, and you are in a treat for the second half. Willemse going short and very high. What a kick. Ball going forward there. And straight off the back there, scrum put in, knock on by UVIC. And the restart will be a scrum to the Spartans. And you've got to say, these are the tiny little moments you talk about. Willemse with the kick that is remarkable. Up high, puts pressure. Spartans are able to run up and defend appropriately. Put in here by Finn Murphy. Referee unhappy with what's going on in the scrum, and they will restart that. They'll reset for a second scrum here after the knock-on from the Vics. Ethan Smith replacing Genitofel at scrum half. And it's going to be a bit of a contestation there between Ethan and goes wide. Tam in with the ball in hands. Ball going through the hands to Willemse. And then is Linden doing a lot of work to get over the side. And we got Scott Bowers playing on the wing here. Calling for the ball. Unless Scott is catching his breath, but he's a long way from the action. You got to admire the front row. Scott Bowers, who's, every time I watch this guy, he's end-to-end for a big man. He gets around the park a lot. Scott Bowers, and on target with his throws. And Scott will be rallying the troops here and saying, listen, to Ethan Jurgenot, he just sounds like a Viking. Ethan Jurgenot, he just sounds dangerous and powerful. What a name. What a name. He must come from good stock, and he's playing in the front row. He's remarkable in itself. Put in here by Ethan Smith. And Trinity pushing, ball coming out and a show and go. Vics all over the park here. Tam with his legs. Matthew Willemse supporting Tam. Great support work there by Willemse. Incredible work, but unfortunately, again, like it happened a few times there in the first half, Spartans not supporting the ruck enough, and UVIC looking to clear their lines with Logan Martin Feek, who's distributed really well today. His kicking game has been slightly off, but he's had a lot of pressure from the Spartans players. Referee putting the time off, and just having a quick word with both captains here. Unhappy with something he's seen. Number 4, Asfan Saeed seems to be throwing his weight around. Referee unhappy with what he saw there, and he's just going to have a little word and say, listen, relax, calm down. It's a fine line to play with, that level of aggression and fire, and not crossing the line into indiscipline and doing stuff that you're unhappy with. I don't know what's happened here, but Ethan Smith has come off. Looks like there's been another replacement at scrum half. This is the second change they've made, and I don't know if Ethan just so happened. Turnover ball, Marengo with the ball in there, and Colin with a beautiful switching go in the middle of the park. Slick hands from Marengo, touching the ball. Colin Legat, beautiful. Ball going through Halliday, looking for Lyndon Duggan. Lyndon unable to go too far, and the pass is unfortunately forward. And so there's a special way to put the ball through the hands during the tackle, and if you can do that well, it's an incredible skill. However, if it's done poorly, you can give away silly it's just silly scrums, silly turnovers. And so there has to be a decision that's made, guys. Are we going to play short, composed rugby? We're going to get our composure and we're going to put the ball through the hands. We're going to start getting a little bit of phase under our belt, and then we can start taking a couple bit of risks. But the UVIC are deep in their half here. A big push by the Spartans. Number 20, put Nate Schroeder, putting a lot of pressure on them. Again, Caleb Girth doing a lot of work around the park. Putting his foot through the ball, Logan. Lyndon Duggan spreading the ball to Willemse. An audacious drop kick. .22-meter drop out there from UVIC with Willemse. I've never quite seen that, and the fact that he's willing to take on that kick is special. And to be fair, there was no one back there. What do you do? I don't think I would be the person putting my foot through the ball at that, but you've got to admire Willemse's confidence to be able to do that. You can see a confident player playing when they're willing to take a few risks and willing to do something. This is not a good sign for Spartans. When you see Colin Legat limping off the park, it's not a great sign for any team to see a man down like that. Brady Howard on as a replacement. Straight out. That's going to be a scrum back on the 22. And again, unforced error there by UVIC. So this is what's going to happen here. They're going to move Trinity. They're going to put Finn Murphy in place of Colin in the centres. Incredible ability for any player to play out of position. And then we've got Brady Howlett on and playing the scrum half position. And you've got to say that Finn Murphy's had a great game of distribution today. And Brady Howlett's got a lot of big boots to fill to be able to fill in the gaps that Finn has left over the park. And that is a well-worked move. A well-worked move. And it's the big man coming up with the ball in his hands. Tim Zimmer with the ball. And his players, rightly so, getting around the big man. Tim Zimmer with the touchdown. And the try for Trinity Western Spartans. And you know what? Any man could have come out with putting that down. And that's a team effort. But Zimmer gets the opportunity to touch the ball down. And he is ecstatic, the big fella. Willemse with the conversion, and it's a successful one. If you were to carve those posts into a beautiful cake, that is straight down the middle, 50-50. What a special boot on that man. A couple of changes from both teams on here. Number 20 making his way onto the field, Takanado. Big kick here by Marengo underneath it. Marengo looking to spread the ball. Willemse puts his foot through it and spirals that up to his opposite number. A lot of pressure there. Takes it well. Jonas Robinson looks to show and go. Big run and a brilliant tackle there. Brilliant tackle from number 6, Eric Niebuhr. I love seeing when teams starts working together, and you can see it's just small little conversations happening shoulder to shoulder, come left, come right. It doesn't have to be rushed. It from an observer, it can feel like a game is frantic, but a great team is able to determine the pace of the game, and that's exactly what the Spartans have done there. Ball being held up in the maul, strong work, and who is it? But my man, Josh Halliday. Halliday, this could be so fun. Put in here for the Spartans. 21, Brady Howlett. not related to former New Zealand rugby player Doug Howlett, but a phenomenal name nevertheless. Brady with the put in. A nice base there from Trinity. Caleb picking up a little pop. Oh, what a little bit of pace there. And again, Spartans doing a better job of securing the ball and having to come off his wing there. Lyndon Duggan. Oh, turnover here. Coming out with the ball is number 5, Ayo Ogolande. Ball going through and sloppy. It looks like the UVIC team are just seem to be a little bit tired. Logan Martin Feek still happy to put the ball through the hands. And look who it is! Scott Bowers with a huge hit! Mr. Bowers, take a stand! Well done. And then that inspires Kenny Paul to make another stick after it. It's amazing what can do for the confidence of a team when one man puts his body on the line and another comes in. Ethan Juggernaut also with the Mohawk. Hard to miss the big fella in the middle of the park, putting his body on the line too. And it looks like it's been a turnover, knock on by UVIC. Referee wants to keep the ball playing advantage here for Spartans. And Brady Howlett with the long pass. Willemse to Marengo. Little cheeky tip over, but doesn't come off that side. And UVIC with another big hit by Eric Nieba. That boy, him and Halliday, putting their bodies on the line time and time again. Little dink through by Logan Martin Feek. Finding touch. Both 10s wanting to show off here. And 10 by Logan Martin Feek, the guy I mentioned at the beginning of the game. He's been scouted and recruited by the Toronto Arrows. But you've got to say that Keegan Marengo has not looked out of place. In fact, he's controlled the ball remarkably. Other than his bit of indiscipline for the 10 minutes off the pitch, this game could be a different look. But fortunately, there's only a couple of points in there with Trinity Western Spartans leading 26 points to 18. And I've mentioned him time and time again. That's the first time it looks like Scott Bowers has made an error in his throws, and he's had a great game. Really has had a great game. So this is what off the training park during your week, this is what you prepare for. A scrum half getting clean ball and passing it through the hands. Logan wanting his guys next to him, Andrew Easton at 12 and Shane Rickley Crindle to get the ball in their hand. And it looks like they're going to do a little pop through and back to Shane. Andrew Easton to Shane and Shane back to Andrew. And now the ball's coming out wide, and unfortunate there to not get the space that they needed to really be able to put pressure on. But that's some fantastic counter-rucking there. The referee's not happy with something that he's seen. Potentially one of the Spartans coming in from the side, and the ball comes out here. Ball goes deep. Is anybody going to be able to under... Clever play by Logan. He understands he's playing advantage. Looks like the player came in from the side. And a referee's assistant on the sideline there, just pulling him over just to have a little word with what he's seen. Potentially seen a little bit of stuff happening off the ball, and that's why it's so important to have these referee assistants on the sideline, because you've got another set of eyes on the game. Something happening there off the ball, and so we've gone from what would have been a scrum on the opposite side of the pitch to a penalty, some sort of infringement that happened there. And now Logan's got an opportunity to put the ball in deep. Just a little dink over there. And he's been able to keep the ball alive, Lyndon Duggan has. And Willemse is able to find a little bit of space here. Vox with the put in here at this line out. And again, looking to run the ball through. So what we had there was 9 in the previous play. 9 straight to number 12 at Andrew Eason. To Shane Wrigley running off his shoulder. And then Shane popping it off again. We'll see if that happens again. They seem to be going straight to the inside center and leaving out the 10. And allowing then Logan Martin Feek to be available for the second phase of ball. Hopefully quick ball. But it's slow here. And now they decide to keep the ball in with the forwards. Trinity doing their post and pillars right off the back there. Jack Marshall taking the ball in for the Vox. Big tackle there by nice one. Beautiful work. And that's number 9. Again, the UVIC Vox have numbers on that side. Beautiful tackle there. Ayo with the ball in hand. Again, the boys are trying to run, and that's going to be... Oh! That is an unfortunate knock-on. That is literally, he needs to catch that ball and touch it at his feet. He'll be kicking himself, and it's an unfortunate knock-on, and he'll be looking back at this game afterwards and saying, was that the time in the game where things could have changed? The momentum could have changed, all the momentum with the UVIC at the moment, but and yet to put points on the board to really convert on all the pressure they've had recently. Only 8 points in it. UVIC will need a converted try and some other points, a penalty or another try. So 2 scores to take it past the Spartans today with still a lot of the game to play. 23 minutes left in this game and potentially a little bit more as we've had a couple of little stoppages there from the referee. And once again, we've got a little stoppage there. And it looks like potentially Halliday's down. And if this man gets up, you've got to start to think that he is a different specimen of a man. I don't know what he eats. I don't know where he's from. I don't know if he's half machine, half warrior, half Spartan. But he's remarkable. He puts his body on the line time and time again. And what's he going to do here? A little bit of magic tape and he's straight back on the pitch. What a player, what a man. And there he goes again. You cannot but love Josh Halliday. If you had any doubt that I've got a man crush on him, he's amazing, remarkable. Put in here, Spartans with the put in. They're going to need a platform here from the front row. Collapse scrum then. Brady's going to want to get this ball in quickly and released. It looks like they're going to put the ball through the hands initially with Willemse not lining up. Historically, he's lined up straight behind the scrum and then put that big, massive left boot through the ball. But he hasn't done that. It looks like Marengo is going to release the ball here, or potentially give it straight to Finn Murphy, who for a scrum off is a big unit, and he runs so strongly. And UVIC with all the pressure, and now they're going to collect the ball at the back end there, and you've got to just sit back and just really in awe of that scrum. And I said it at the beginning, and I'll say it again, that platform for the forwards. If you ever want to be embarrassed, if you ever want to look back at a game and say, man, I could have done better, it's all 8 men working in unison, working together and not being pushed backwards. When you're pushed backwards, you don't have the momentum, and that's when, unfortunately, the game falls apart. It's those platforms off your scrum and line out that have to be meticulous. And that's why when young players are coming through and you're training and you're spending hours and hours on the training pitch working on your scrums, working on your line outs, can we not do anything more technical? It is as technical as it comes in that scrum. With Logan Martin Feek waving the arms and looking to put another points on the board, this will make it a 1-point game, and this is starting to look very similar to the last time these teams met with. It is so close. Again, unsuccessful. And if Logan had put these conversions over today, it would be a different story on the scoreline, but he's unsuccessful with that, and Trinity still lead 26 points to 23. Marcus Lott with the try for UVIC Varks, and still a lot to play for. The second half of the second half about to go underway. We've got 20 minutes left. UVIC Varks driven back, but they've come out with the ball in hand, which is the most important thing. And that is a huge hit from Ethan Jurgenot. I love this man. Look at him. Love him. Look, he's working around the park, and that is another big stick. A fantastic there by the scrum half. Finn Murphy's playing in the centres. Finn Murphy does not look out of place in these centres at all. Eric Nieba a little bit isolated here, and Spartans are going to have to clean up this ball here. Brady digging the ball, digging for the ball. Hands on the ball. Referee warned the Varks to leave the ball alone, and now they're going to put points on the board with a decision to be made here. Do we go for touch? Very interesting decision here. Very interesting decision. Decisions made to go for touch when, to be honest, in the kicking form that Matthew Willems is in, that's a very given 3 points that would put the board to 6 points, but still mean that UVIC would have a converted try to beat them, and confident play. Maybe in hindsight we'll see if this was a stroke of genius or perhaps the wrong decision. Scott Bowers with the throw in, and a nice take there by Caleb Girth. Ball coming out here. Nice work. And inside there to Lyndon Duggan coming off his wing, and a nice little training ground move. There now, we need to get the ball out here. Brady trying to dig the ball up, but has this been a turnover again? There we go, Brady's got the ball. Penalty to UVIC Varks, and again, 3 points on offer, 3 points not taken, 3 points in it. It's a game of threes. Nice clearance kick there. Now we're inside the Varks half, just about the 10-meter line. Going for a little bit of a smaller line out, just 3 men joining the line out and a couple of stragglers joining in. I thought it was going to be a nice clean take at the top there by Asfand Asid, but not straight from the throw-in by Jack Marshall. And again, it's going to be a rethrow that they're going to decide to do, yeah. Or potentially the scrum. Yes. So Spartans opting to retake the line-out throw with Scott Bowers, looking to find his man here. Who will it be going up? Beautiful take. That man's offside, unfortunately. Beautiful. Willems are chasing. Nice little, I love seeing the back three working together. Willems and Tammy, definitely some chemistry here. And again, a big clear out. Marengo underneath it. He's going to, beautiful. Big arm. And then we've got Lyndon Duggan with the ball in his hand. And it's like they've got to get the ball. Caleb Girth there, opt to take the ball and by himself, and why not? When you're that size and that strong, why not? Out the back to Willemse and nowhere to go. A little bit of miscommunication there between Willemse and Kenny Paul. Kenny Paul overrunning, and now it's a turnover. Willemse's slow to his feet. It's going to be a fast game here. What a kick. Will it go out? What a kick. What a kick. Tam with the big throw. Marengo to Willemse, and Willemse with the ball straight in there, and he's pinning the Viks back. It's going to take a lot. The Viks are going to have to dig deep here for the next 15 minutes. Spartans quite happy to play in the UVIC half with no real sense of urgency to put points on the board, but just wanted to keep them pinned back here. I love that both Tam, Willemse, and Marengo are willing to play quickly off that line-up ball and not straight once again. This is probably the 4th or 5th time, and UVIC will be watching this game back and saying a couple areas that they could improve, and their scrum has been outstanding today, but their line-outs have just been shocking, with Jack Marshall unable to hit the mark on multiple occasions, and also Logan Martin-Feek unfortunate with the off the boot today with his conversions. Clean take here by the Spartans with Nate Schroeder with the ball. It's nice to see his hands on the ball again. Juggernaut looking for a clean out. I love that Ethan is there creating the platform. That's beautiful. And the boys are willing to go out long. And it's over. And will Tam touch this? Interesting courts here. What will happen? I'm not sure if they were in their 22 or not. Referee speaking to the assistant, having a word. So it'll be a goal line drop kick here, and it looks like Marengo's kick was just slightly overhit. I mean, near enough perfect kick, just a meter too far. That goes over the line, and UVIC touch it down, and we'll see what Ethan Haggard decides to do here. Probably go long. Boys are lining up ready to receive that, and he does go long with a big kick here, and no pressure. Oopsie. Backwards. I think that's Oliver Clark. Yeah, Oliver Clark replacing Lyndon Duggan on the right wing there. And Oliver, you know, it's a tough way to enter the game with a big kick that you have to go under. But these are the moments that you've got to be happy that you're going to come in. Well done, Willemse. Willemse, what a tackle. What a tackle. And you've got to say that that is a Willemse turnover. And then he plays scrum off. Where is this boy? And again, Marengo. What a player. And if I was a Canadian scout here, I'd be watching Marengo and saying, this man is special. He's special. He can run, he can kick, he can carry, he can distribute. Is there anything this man cannot do? Keegan Marengo. Take a bow. Willemse puts the ball, boot through the ball. And it's a word that maybe it's oversaid, maybe it's overplayed. The word is composure. Composure in defense and composure in attack here. And Favor makes his way onto the pitch without me even noticing. But again, watch the scrums, the whole dynamic of the scrums change with Favor entering the play. And oh, missed tackle there, unusual. It's a great run there. Ethan Hager, who's been the man of the match, in my opinion, on the Viks end. I think if he had the ball a little bit more, he could be a game changer. And he's quick. He's willing to run. He's willing to be aggressive with the ball in hand. And now Viks are parked on their try line there, and they will be happy there to come away with the points, 5 points. And the tide has turned once again. with UVIC Vox taking the lead, 28 points to 26. 2 points the difference. And will the Spartans be looking back at that penalty decision just a couple moments ago where they're in front of the post and opt to go for the line out instead of the points? And yes, you know, you want to play momentum, and yes, when you are playing strongly and you're winning your lineouts, you want to go for it, but you need to take points when points are on offer. And like I said, hindsight's a wonderful thing, but looking back, you've got to say that that was the wrong decision. Still a lot to play for here in the remaining 9 minutes left of this game here. Trinity Western trailing UVIC Vox by just 2 points, with Ethan Hager taking over the kicking duties from Logan Martin Feek, hoping to be successful with one of these conversions, making this a 4-point game. The difference, taking his time, and why not when you're leading the game? Beautiful strike. It's a beautiful strike of the ball and straight through. Ethan Hager has had a phenomenal game. Strong runner, quick, great kickoffs. And a successful conversion. UVIC 30, Trinity 26. Great kick again. This is the point in the game where leaders emerge. In the last 8 minutes, you start to see where leaders arise. Who is going to be the players that make a tackle? Who is the players that are going to find the gap? Who are the players that are going to get around another player and be a talisman on that pitch? This is where leadership, everything rises and falls on leadership. And I'll be looking at Caleb Girth, who's had a remarkable game and usually does strong carrying the ball and strong defensively. Caleb, can you inspire these men to put some points on the board? Because you got to think that the next person to score, whether that's UVIC or whether that's Spartans, is going to come away with the W today. And Nate Schroeder will be kicking himself with just a simple ball, taking his eyes off the ball and looking at it as a defensive man, and unfortunately dropping the ball. And that's what happens when a defensive line shoots up quickly. It puts that level of pressure on you, and it creates doubt. And when doubt is in your game, and Nate hasn't been on for too long, mistakes happen. So, like I mentioned, Favor, who is, for me, the strongest. He's a scrummaging specialist. Favor Olianian. Look at this. Again, straight away, Favor makes an impact. And the two big lads, Favor and Mr. Juggernaut himself, Ethan, in the front. I love this front row. For me, this is my favorite front row. Ethan, Scott Bowers, and Favor. You saw from that first scrum since Favor's been on, and look at the impact that he's made immediately pushing back his opposite number. And we'll see if he can do this again. And Favor, look at the push. Look at the push. Willems staying composed. You know that being the last man of defense is really, really difficult. You have got nowhere to hide. And Willems puts his hand up, takes a stand, and makes a phenomenal tackle. And it looks like they've gone down the sideline. And UVIC with the score, and 35 points to 26. 5 minutes to go. The little scrum half finding a little dink around the side and putting his man through. Scoring on the left wing. unfortunately, and I'm not one, it's not over till it's over, but 9 points in the game, and with the kicking duties of Ethan being so successful, you have to think that it's going to be incredibly difficult for the Spartans to come back at this moment. Their heads seem to have dropped, and there's got to be a little bit of fire in the belly that says, man, we can do this. Still a lot to play for, but with 4 minutes left, it's going to be really difficult to come from here. If I was Ethan Hager, I would be taking my time, which he seems to be reading every bit of writing on that rugby ball and taking his time before this kick is. The referee's got to encourage him to take this kick quickly, because you don't want to be wasting time. But on the flip side, if this kick successful, will take the UVIC Vics to a 9 points in it at the moment. Will make it an 11-point game and put the game really out of unsuccessful. A bit of a shank there from Ethan. Nine points in it, a converted try and another score. They would need to score the try in the next minute or so. If they can do that and then get a penalty, this is how they will win. They need a converted try and a penalty kick. And who is it? Ethan Hager comes out with the ball. Well done. Favor with a big tackle. Well done. Big man making his way. And Favor's got fresh legs, and you know what? He's really making the most of this. Favor with a big hit again, putting the man out of touch. But unfortunately, the urgency that Favor is showing here, we need from all 15 men. There's just 3 minutes and a couple of extra minutes to play after the fact for a couple of injuries that took place and the referee stopping the clock. But they're going to need a clean take here. And Scott Bowers, if there was ever a time to show up, it's now. Martin Zubiri making way. Caleb Girth with the take. Horrible pass, but Marengo cleaning up. Finn Murphy. Caleb Girth, so strong. And a beautiful tackle. It's beautiful clear out there by Halliday. 2 nobody. We've got Tapiwa and Morufu on, and unfortunately fumbling the ball. Willemse having to clean up. Can he hold on to the ball? He holds. The Vics are just can smell blood, and there is big stick there. Lovely tackle there by Eric Niebuhr. Just 1 minute to play here at the Langley Event Center. Spartans trailing by 9 points with all the momentum with the UVIC Vics, and are they able to convert this pressure into some more points? Stationary stuff here by the Vics, but everyone's hurting. It's been a physical 79 minutes. And who comes away for Willemse comes away with the ball, and referee pulls the game back here in favor of the Vics. And interesting to see what decision they make here. They take a scrum, the right decision, slow the game right down, and UVIC have definitely dominated the game in the scrum. I think the game was won and lost in the scrummaging here. And I would have to say that the defensive integrity of the Spartans in the middle of the park. Losing Colin in the centres, there was a big blow, but Colin and Kenny potentially not really finding the chemistry that they have found. I know Kenny's coming off here, and these two players just haven't had a whole bunch of game time together. Scrum off, digging the ball out, and he's going to provide that ball for Logan Martin-Feek. Logan decides to take the ball on himself. Number 20 there, Tucker Nadeau. Jonas Robertson calling for the ball. Is he going to be able to get it? UVIC doing a great job of keeping that ball in hand. And you've got to admire the heart here by the Spartans by continuing to put their body on the line. But unfortunately, this part of the game, you want to be with the ball in hand. Knock on. And the scrum will be put in for Trinity with, in my clock, 80 minutes gone. And really at this position you want to put your foot through the ball, but unfortunately Spartans have to put a points on the board, and I don't think they're going to have an opportunity to do that. The only way they can do that is if they run. And so this is going to be a bit of a digging deep here, finding a little bit of any energy you have left in the tank has got to be spent here, and we got to run the ball. And that is not a great start there. As Finn Murphy quickly brought down, and UVIC have a beautiful day for the rugby, and thank you so much for joining us. If you've joined us for our full 80 minutes, we appreciate you so much being with us. Been a great game of rugby, and the Spartans, has been a joy to commentate here. The Spartans never really disappoint, put a heart on the line, but comes down to a couple of technical factors in the game. The first being the scrummaging, and off the mark there with the scrummaging. Second being the defensiveness in the middle of the park, and third would be our decision making. Do you go for points? Do you have a scrum or a line out? And so those are the things that you look back at the game and say, could these have changed? And I would be asking myself, as every player's got to look inside internally and say, what could I have done differently to impact and affect change in this game? And it's very rare that a player can put up his hand and say, you know what, I've done everything that I can, and today we were outplayed. And credit to UVIC Vikes. What they have done is they've been incredibly tenacious around the rucks. Probably my fourth point, which I mentioned earlier, is that not committing numbers to the rucks and wanting to play this lean rugby, which is attractive and beautiful that the Spartans would want to do, and I admire that. But you've got to secure your ball, and there were multiple turnovers at the ruck throughout the game, and those are moments again where the game changed. There'll be another put in here, and this will be the last play of the game. You can only imagine. The question is UVIC going to put any more points on there? But it's highly unlikely Trinity are going to come in. This looks like UVIC are going to take the W once again, and if UVIC win this game, which they looks like they're going to do, they move to number 1 in the national rankings. Turnover here, so it means that they've got to take the ball and go quickly. You can't end a game on a penalty, so Willemse needs to put them all the way down there. Nicely done. And they are going to get to play this last bit of the game. You're playing here for pride. You're playing here because you want to lay everything on the line. You want to end the game with your head held high and saying, man, we did everything we could, and not overly straight, but the referee decides to let that one go. It's right near the end of the game, and Keegan Marenga looking to make things happen. He's got to pick that ball up and move it quickly. Scott Bowers bracing himself more. Nate Schrader with the ball in hand. Strong lad. Unfortunately, Nate with his foot on the line there, and a lovely run, but just not aware of that line and putting his foot just over it. And referee is going to allow this last play. I've said this last play probably 6 times. The referee continued to play this game, and obviously he's the man in the middle with the can confirm the referee just said 30 more seconds. In other words, we're about to call it. UVIC, smart to just keep the ball in hand, And that's going to be it. Game over. Tale of two halves. Trinity going into the break slightly ahead. UVIC having the best of the Spartans in the second half. Final score, UVIC Vox 35, Trinity Western Spartans 26, putting UVIC at the top of the table in their national competition and calling it game over. A little bit of argy-bargy at the end of the game, but not the way that either team wants to finish the game. Thank you so much for joining us wherever in the world that you joined us. We want to thank you so much, and just remind you all that the Spartan jerseys are going to be auctioned on TWU Rugby's Instagram page. Check that out now, and support the rugby program with the Spartans. Support the rugby program and checking that out. There really are beautiful jerseys, and that's on the Trinity Western Rugby Spartan page. It's Andre Lesieur here. Thank you so much for being with us today. We hope you tune into the next game. God bless. Have a wonderful day.